Hello YouTube, welcome back to another video. So this video, I'm going to just walk you through the simple steps of how to route your Nexus 4. So first thing you're going to want to do is plug the phone into the computer and enable USB debugging. So you can see me here. I'm going to turn my computer on, my phone on, sorry, and you go into the menu, system settings, scroll all the way down to developer options. If you don't see developer options, you need to click on about phone, and then there is a setting called, right at the bottom, called build number, and I'm going to try and zoom in and show you that a little bit better. There's a version called build number, and you just need to tap that 7 times, and then it will say, well done, you're now a developer. And then you need to go back, and then developer options show up here. And then all you're going to want to do is scroll down and enable USB debugging. So make sure that's enabled. And then the last thing, you're going to plug the phone in. So you just take your micro USB cable from your computer, make sure it's plugged in into a computer. See if this will focus. Obviously not. And you just go and plug it in, and your Nexus should now show up on your computer. Now when the drivers are installing, if you're using Windows, it should pop up down here. It says installing driver device software, and it might say, like it says here, device driver software not successfully installed. Don't worry about that too much, because what you're going to want to do is go on to XDA developers, and the link will be in the description below. And if you go in the Google Nexus 4 forum, and then the Nexus 4 original Android development, you're going to see, I think it's the third, or in my case here, it's the third option from the top. And it says Nexus 4 Toolkit version 1.3 by MS Skip. And you're going to want to click on that. And it'll say here, click here to download the Google Nexus 4 Toolkit. And then there'll be a few instructions down below, what to do, how to download and stuff like that, and also a quick video. But exactly what you see here is what I'm going to talk you through it now. So you're going to click on the link, download it and install it. And once you've installed it, the program should come up. And in your start menu, you see here Nexus 4 Toolkit, and you just click on it and it will start. And then this is kind of what the program's going to look like. I'm just going to minimize the window so you can't see that. And then you're going to get presented with this sort of black screen with green writing, and it'll ask you, do you want to check if an update is available? Most of the time I'm just going to choose no, and then it'll say select your device version and build, and it only gives you one option because 4.2 is currently the latest one what this toolkit works with. If you have 4.2.1, don't worry about it too much because it still works. So you just select number 1 and then press enter, and then you get presented with this sort of slightly confusing menu. Don't worry about this too much because this is a fairly straightforward process, and I'm going to talk you through it now. So first thing what you're going to want to do is install and uninstall Google Nexus 4 driver. So obviously we're going to want to install, so we're just going to select number 1, click enter, and it will ask you which operating system you run, which in my case is Windows 7. So I'm going to select number 2 and click enter, press 1 and enter, and it will install the drivers. And we're just going to wait for this now to finish. So now this might look slightly confusing. There's a lot of writing, and it will say the resource loader cache doesn't have loaded MUI entry. And basically the message says if this does come up, means the drivers have been installed, so you don't need to worry about that. You know, if there's an error or whatever coming up. So it says press any key to return to the main menu. So you just press the key and you're back in the sort of big confusing menu that you were before. Next thing we're going to want to do is unlock and relock your bootloader. In our case, we want to unlock it so we can install custom ROMs and flash the custom recovery. So we're going to select, in our case, number 3 and press enter. And then you're going to want to select bootloader option, which is number 1, unlock bootloader. And you're going to click 1, press enter, and then here is a little text. Don't worry about the text at the top. Then here it says, is your device in fast boot mode and are you ready to continue? If your phone is still on, like you can see here, and you're still exactly in the menu you're in, don't worry about that too much, because let me just zoom out a little bit, because the device will actually do the it's going into fast mode for you. So if you are not in fast boot mode, so if the screen is like you see here, your home screen, then just type in no and press enter. So when the device has rebooted into fast boot mode, it will ask you, basically this is what's going to come up on your screen, and it will say unlock bootloader, whether you want to or do not want to unlock the bootloader. Unlocking the bootloader basically allows you to flash custom ROMs, custom recoveries and things like that. So in our case, because we want to root it, we're going to click yes. So we're going to have to select the use the volume rockers up or down to select it, and then you click the power button to select. And now you can see it says unlocked. So let me zoom in and show you that a little bit better. Hopefully the camera will focus. You can see here in red it says lock state unlocked. So that means your bootloader is now unlocked and you're able to flash custom recoveries and root your phone. So next thing, you want to select back in the menu on your computer, select 4, because this is root, unroot options. So you're going to select 4 and it says routing options here, and all you're going to need to do is either select 1 or 2. Now 1 is just basic root, whereas 2 is root and install BusyBox. Then number 3 is boot into Clockwork Mod and install root. Don't worry about that too much. What we're gonna want to do is root and probably install BusyBox, because this is necessary for some programs. I'm not going to list every single one, but if you actually have a look through the Play Store, there are some programs that actually require BusyBox to run to be able to you know, flash certain themes. That's most of the time what BusyBox is needed for. So in our case, you know, choose what you want, whether you want 1 or 2. The procedure is pretty much going to be the same. So in my case, I'm going to select 2, press enter, and then it'll ask you which super user method you want. Do you want Super SU by Chainfire or Super User 3.1.3 by ChangeDD? In this case, it says here select this on Android 4.2, so number 2, which is what I'm going to choose, and click OK. And because we're still in fast boot, as you can see here on the phone, because we're still in fast boot, we're going to type yes, and there you go, finished, and it's rebooting now. And you can see the phone rebooting and the little lock has come up, and you can see that should be unlocked now. And this now has booted us into, as you can see, Clockwork Mod recovery. And then all you're going to want to do when you're in it, just press reboot and then no. And that should now get you back into your ROM, depending if you have a custom ROM. If you have a stock 4.2 or 4.2.1, they work exactly the same, so don't worry too much about which one you have, because like I said, there is no difference. This method works on both phones. And once your phone is restarted, you should then find the app called SU in your app drawer, and that means you are rooted. Jump.